Hey, we're here first day, Wizard World, St. Louis. It's Friday. It's the end of the first day. We had a really good day. Made some sales. Got the word out. Met some pretty cool people. So all is well. It's a good day. Looking forward to tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. So just checking in. So be in touch.
When did you do your first comic book convention?
My first comic book convention was in the year 2003. I had just published The Anointed Seven, and I was working with George Makis. He was the head of Salt Ministries. So the very first one I did was in Philadelphia. Took the airplane and spent, I think it was just one day. Funny thing about being in Philadelphia, Rosie Perez, she was at that convention. And I saw her walking down the aisle, and I'm thinking, is that Rosie Perez? She locked eyes with me for some reason. And she came closer and closer and closer until she was right in front of the table. And I was like, wow, what are you doing here? So, long story short, she actually bought a copy of The Anointed Seven, the first issue. Sometimes I show that. I didn't take a picture with her, which I should have, but she did take a picture holding a copy of the first issue of The Anointed Seven. So that was the first convention I did as a Kingdom Comics publisher, selling my own book.
What have some of the highlights been over the years?
Well, I guess some of the obvious highlights, of course, are the celebrities that I've had the opportunity to meet. Stan Lee was one that really stands out. Met him in Detroit, have a picture of me with him. But it's just kind of cool being in that atmosphere in general. Especially the larger conventions, the crowds are always, you kind of, vibe off their energy, and those are always the highlights. And then, of course, you have the actual parents and fans who stop by the table, and they come back and they thank me for the comic books, or they'll say something like, my son read this comic book last night, he loved it. I've had other brothers and sisters come and pray with me. Those are always a highlight. Sometimes, a brother will come up and I not even know that he's a Christian, but he'll come and say something, and he'll come and say a prayer for me. And he'll know exactly, my cats are fighting. You gotta stop it. And I'll get a word right at the right time. Highlights have also been the fellowship of the other brothers who've come and actually sat with me at the conventions. I've never, to my knowledge, done a convention by myself, maybe a smaller one, but in general, I always have other guys with me who sit at the table with me, and I always appreciate that. Fellowshipping with them is always a highlight. I love going out of town. Doing conventions out of town, it's just depending on where we are. We did a Florida MegaCon in 2019. It's really cool being in Florida. And then we also did San Diego. San Diego, of course, is the pinnacle, is the top. And the whole process of getting there was just amazing. It's just like, I sat there at my booth, and it was like, I made it. Here I am in San Diego, representing Kingdom Comics. And it was just an awesome experience. And in ways, that was just it. Just to be there, just the whole process of getting support. So we've had our highlights, and I'm truly looking forward to doing more and for things to continuing to build.
Moving forward, what do you hope?
Well, I hope to be able to continue to do these conventions and do even more. There's so many different conventions. I'm expecting once this pandemic passes, they're going to open back up. And I would hope that we can continue to go to these conventions and be a presence for the Lord. I would hope that, just our presence greatly increases. Hope to even have more than one group, more than one team at different conventions, maybe at the same time. So while there's a convention going on in Las Vegas, there's also one going on in Chicago. So we have one team in Las Vegas and one team in Chicago. I really hope to build it because I realize that at its heart, what we do, the greatest ministry that we do is actually face-to-face at these conventions. Everything grows out of the convention. The people we meet, the impact we have, and its strength we represent best at conventions. So my hope is that this whole ministry grows, that we can continue to do more and more, and Lord willing, we'll have the support and the opportunity to do this. So, yes, that's it.
Okay, we finished up day 3. We're on our way back to Indiana. Out here driving in the snow. It's a good weekend, good 3 days. Sold some books, sold out of a lot of the titles.